Three, two, one. What's going on, guys? Aaron here from Departures Capital. We're here with Investing Hustler. How's it going today?
It's going good, man. We're on a roll.
Give me a thumbs up for these little puppies, guys. Say hi. Say hi, cuties.
What's going on, guys? It's Investing Hustler here, and I'm with Aaron from Departures Capital, and he's still drinking his tea, and he has not even taken a washroom break yet. So,
How much we'll
tea?
make it through this video, though. What's going on, guys?
So yeah, today we're going to be doing some technical analysis on Canopy Growth and a chart analysis. We're going to be looking at the company. Now, personally, Canopy Growth is going to be a harder one to do a chart and a technical analysis on because of that whole Constellation Brands deal. So their chart kind of just went out of whack, but we're going to do the best that we can. So yeah, let's show you guys what we have prepared for you guys. So yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of lines here. There's a lot of, first we'll look at the long-term support line that we see right here, this big green line. It seems that Canopy Growth seems to be consistently hitting that line and then bouncing up. And then here we've seen, this was near the beginning of the year in 2019, or actually near December. I think at that point, it was a very bad time in the market. The S&P 500 was crashing. All these companies were crashing. People were thinking we're going to hit a huge market crash. Yep. And then seeing Canopy Growth go below that that support line. And
$30. Wow.
Yeah, went as low as $34. And then almost immediately after that, we've seen Canopy Growth push forward.
Just skyrocketed, yeah, right back up to 60.
Exactly. So now we're kind of seeing a small pattern here. We have this thin green line right here. It's kind of acting like their support line right here, but at the same time, they have a resistance line at about, I would say it's more like around 65. What is that, 65?
Yeah, 65 and a half, something like that, I'd say.
A little bit higher than $65. It's went above it a couple times and then immediately rejected. It's went above it here. So 3 times it's hit that resistance and then slowly declined. And then we also kind of see another support line right here. It's been trading sideways in the past, let's see, almost in the past couple months, February, March. What do you see, Aaron? What do you, anything you have to say?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks to be kind of downtrending a little bit. If you see those lower highs, kind of in a sense, at least in terms of the candles, we're seeing lower highs.
Yep.
So that just makes me think that the stock is gonna downtrend a little bit. Now it's gonna be interesting to see if we do hold onto that support line. It looks like we are basically touching it today. So we'll see what. Yeah, it's tough. We'll see what happens. I'm not a buyer of Canopy Growth, just saying that, just putting that out there, because they already got their deal, and I feel like the stock will trade based on the market, the market is, in my opinion, bearish. So, but they obviously have that cushion to support the stock as well, that huge hoard of cash and then fantastic management. They're up to a lot of great things. Bruce Linton is an amazing CEO with lots of knowledge, not just in the consumer market and growing, but medical and all that kind of stuff too. So it's hard to say. I'm the only reason I'm not a buyer of Canopy is because I just think it's already too high. And upside, like I like Aurora because like there's more risk in Aurora. There's also more downside in Aurora. So yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And you're right. This morning, it slightly touched that resistance line right here, that support line, I mean, and then immediately bounced back up. You also did mention that there was a key support, worst case scenario, and we marked it here as the red line.
Yeah.
The worst case scenario, we could see Canopy go back down to, oh no, this was meant to be at $40, or was it meant to be at 30? Because we put it down at $37.50.
Maybe between 39 and $40, somewhere in and around there. I mean, for the day traders, obviously they're going to get right down to the cents, but.
So I think worst case scenario, we might see Canopy go back down. I would say a little bit below $40, between $40 to $37. Worst case scenario, we might see Canopy go that low. Obviously we don't want that, because if it does break this, there's 2 key supports here. There's this one right here, the one that's the uptrend, and then there's this one where it's kind of trading sideways. If it does break below any of these, hopefully it continues on this long-term support line, which is this
Mhm.
one right here, which it has been consistently bouncing up above.
Yep.
We've seen it hit, let's see, one,
Wow.
two, 3, 4, and then we had that one time when it was things were looking ugly. So 4, 5, I guess 5 times it's consistently bounced off that. Actually, even if you bring it back all the way here, you've seen it hit a couple more times, even when you go all the way back to October 2018. So this has actually hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess 7, but it dipped below that in that one time. So
Yeah, so then you could go and say that, I mean, 45 to 47 in the short term, if we saw like the market tank like
yeah, so
crazy,
if it tanks, yep.
then
Hopefully,
yeah,
if it tanks, it bounces off this support line right here, and then continues that long-term uptrend pattern that it's been
yeah,
consistently having lower highs. We've consistently seen it have lower highs. So we've seen it here have a low of 21. We've seen it here have a low of 25. Here it's had a low of 31.3132, and here it had a low of 37. So if it continues this pattern, we might see a low of 46 in the future, and
mhm.
hopefully it uptrends. So I think at $46, Canopy would definitely be. I would consider that a buy. I still think it's a little too high for my taste. And then if it breaks this support line here, this is the worst case scenario. This red line.
Yeah.
We hope it doesn't get to that, but
$20.8 billion market cap. Wow, that's something else.
yeah, so yeah, we could look at that right now. Let's look at the 52-week range. It's near the top of its 52-week range, sitting at 70. Its high was $76.68, and that was pre-legalization, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
that was I think that was right before October 17th. It was that high, and then almost immediately
Damn.
declined.
Yeah, that's quite a high.
Yeah. So I think at that point, its market cap was like close to 30 billion.
70 all the way down to 30.
Yeah. So then Canopy was a sell, and a neutral. The 1 minute is a sell and a strong sell. I guess we could look at the 1 month.
Yeah, I'd like to see this.
It's a buy, and a strong buy. And the 1 week, it's a buy, and a strong buy.
I mean, going back to the chart, if we zoom in real close, I mean, it would kind of make sense if it stays in that price channel, then maybe we're going to see a little bit of a recovery. But yeah, maybe to 62 to 64, something like that. But it's a tough one. I think you always got to, I feel like you always got to consider the health of the overall market.
Yeah, well, best case scenario, this line right here, this thin green line is the best case scenario. And that means that it will break past this resistance right here that we see at around $65. 60.
Yeah.
There's a resistance right now that we're seeing at around $65. So best case scenario, it breaks past that. Worst case scenario, I think we're gonna hit this support line. Well, no, that's second worst case, and then bounce back up. And then worst case scenario, we're gonna see it go below $40, which some people would love to see that because that would be a great buying opportunity. I would definitely love to pick up some shares at below for $40. But yeah,
I would definitely pick up some Canopy. At that level, I'm all in Canopy. But right now, I'm all out of Canopy.
yeah, exactly.
Have you bought Canopy before? Traded Canopy?
I've actually had Canopy, I think, at around $32. And then during this run, almost immediately after the Constellation deal, I sold some at 40. I've sold some at 50. And then when it started crashing, I think I ended up selling some at around 42, or I got rid of all my shares. And then I was waiting for buying opportunity, and then I slept in that day. This was the day I slept in. So I missed this perfect opportunity. And ever since, I am no longer a Canopy shareholder. I slept
I
in.
know.
It sucked because immediately that day, pretty much because I was like, as soon as it hits below the price that I had it at, I'll
Yeah.
get it. And it went as low as I think 30, 34 almost, 34 something. And I slept in, and then by the time I woke up, I think it was already up at like almost 40 something. And I'm like, I can't just buy it at what I sold it at. And then, yeah, Canopy just had a massive run, and I missed out on my opportunity. So I'm no longer a shareholder of Canopy Growth. Let's look at their valuations. Their market cap is 20 billion. a huge market cap. Also, let's look at their total assets. They have total assets of 8.64 billion. Out of those 8.64 billion in assets, I think 4 billion of that is in cash. Would that be part of Constellation's deal?
Yeah, definitely.
On paper, they do look very overvalued. Price to revenue is 134. Price to sales is 267. So total shares outstanding 334 million. That's still 1/3 of what Aurora has. So yeah, what do you think about Canopy Growth? Any last thoughts on Canopy Growth, or any last words?
No last words, but I'm definitely ready to give my
Your price target?
what's that?
Your buy rating or your price target for Canopy?
Yeah. So for me, Canopy is actually Canopy is a sell for me. I wouldn't hold on to it right now. Now, might get some hate for that. That's okay. Just because I see more value in other companies, but I do think like Canopy's great for the long term. And if you're like looking to as an institution, I think it's a great company to invest in. If you're an institutional investor or like a retirement fund or something like that, it's definitely going to be around for long. But my price target on Canopy, oh man, I'm going to keep a bullish. I'm going to keep a bullish outlook, because if I say the price target is going to be lower than it is today, then how's Canopy going to be lower in Aurora? Not 1 year price target of 75.
So that would mean that it's not gonna beat its previous all-time highs in 1 year.
Mm, okay, if they're profitable, yeah, you're right. Let me just revise that to $80. I think $80.
Yeah.
$80 for a 1 year price target. Just based on the current market conditions, I wouldn't hold on to it right now. I'd take that off the table. But as a long term, maybe over the next year, I definitely see upside in most of the cannabis stocks.
Yeah, that's like I said in the beginning of the video, Canopy Growth, it's a tough one because they do have a lot of cash to back them up. But what are they going to do with that cash? If they start doing some good moves with that cash, which they have, they did that thing in New York with CBD drinks.
Yeah, I think that is very good.
So yeah, it all depends what Canopy does with all that cash. But I do agree with you at these prices. I do think Canopy is a sell, because I personally won't be buying at this price. I'm not even holding at this price. So if I had Canopy Growth at these prices, I would be selling. Obviously, I would wait for it to hit this resistance right here at around $65. I would sell at that price.
Yeah.
And the 1 year price target, I don't know, a year is a long time from now. So we've seen Canopy hit $74. I'm going to give Canopy a 1 year price target of $92. There you go, 92.
After 2019, so after the run we saw.
Okay. Now it's making higher lows.
Yeah, so it's making higher lows and it's making lower highs, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
So it looks like a triangle, and usually when that happens, it gets into a tighter trading range and then it breaks one way or another. So you, like we talked about that with Suniva. You can take a look at Suniva later, not right now, but I feel like it's going to break one way or the other, and this time it looks like it could break to the downside.
So yeah, I agree with you. Best case scenario, it's going to continue this uptrend pattern. Worst case, we're going to have a dip and hopefully hit this long-term uptrend right here, uptrend support line.
Yeah, so as we get in a tighter trading range at the end of that triangle, I feel like we're going to break one way or the other. It's going to be a big drop or a big shoot up.
What are you going to bet on? A drop or a shoot up?
Drop. I'm betting on the drop.
We're both giving it a sell. So unfortunately, yeah, we're recommending Canopy as a sell. Once again, this is strictly for educational and entertainment purposes. Make sure you do your own due diligence. We're not bashing Canopy. I think Canopy is a very good company. I actually regret selling all my shares and not picking them up when that buying opportunity came, but it happens.
Just our opinion. That's all it is at the end of the day, just our opinion.
Exactly. So that's it for now, guys. You want to end this one?
Yeah, sure. So thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like these videos. Smash that subscribe button and the bell for Investing Hustler and Departures Capital. And yeah, we appreciate. Drop us some comments. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Let us know where you guys think Canopy will go in the next year, and if you're currently a shareholder for the company. So
yeah, also give us your rating, whether you think Canopy's a buy, a sell, or a hold.
Exactly. So that's it for today, guys.
Bye-bye.